I don't have a clicker. This is a pen. It doesn't actually work. But whenever I do this, if my husband's paying attention, he'll know to change the screen. I know what you're thinking. How is she so creative? All right, so that's a picture of our truck and an RV. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California. And then in May of 2019, God said, pick up your mat and walk. Sell everything. I'm sending your whole family into ministry. Your whole family will lead people to the Lord. And I was like, what? I was never in my life ever going to go into ministry at all. That was not my plan. My plan was to go homeschool my kids and go back east. I had never been back east. I'd never been to Virginia or seen all these amazing places of history in our country. And I was homeschooling my children, teaching them U.S. history. I'm a genius mom. I know. I'll take them there. I will take them to George Washington's house, and then they will be brilliant. So that was my plan. And God's like, yeah, you know this plan you have? Ha, ha, ha. That's not what we're doing here. You're going into full-time ministry, sell everything. It's never my plan to sell everything. Sell everything, have no roots, no time frame, no agenda. You're not going to know where you're going or how long you're going for. I'm like, okay, Jesus, take the wheel. Did you tell my husband that? Because I don't want to tell him that. Well, I did tell my husband, and then we got confirmation after confirmation after confirmation. And I tell you that it was May of 2019, because all the clients in here are like, why is she telling the date? Because I teach people, don't tell dates unless they're important. It's important for you to know that, because what happened, there was May of 2019 and then March of 2020, COVID lock-in. And so everybody was like, are you still going? Well, yeah, I posted it on social media. I have to go now. I'm committed. But from May of 2019 all the way until July of 2020, 14 months, I had no idea what God was doing. I was in blind obedience that whole time, just saying yes to God. And I say that because some of you are so afraid to say yes to God. Because what if? Well, I don't know. What if he does something crazy and wild and rocks your life more than you ever planned? Because I got 6,700 new friends because I said yes to God. It was not my plan. Because what happened was I finished reading the Bible cover to cover, and I was never going to do that again. That's a lot. If you've done it before, it's a lot of work. But God said, your goal is to do it in one, so do it again and hit your goal. I was like, no, I don't want to hit that goal. So after 2 months of dragging my feet, I finally did a Facebook Live to enroll 5 friends to do it with me. How many of you saw this video? Hey guys, I'm looking for 5 friends that want to read the Bible with me. I was like, she saw it. And I had about 20 women say yes, so I thought that was so cool. So I said, well, I have this group called Fear into Faith. Why don't you jump in there? And then maybe some of those women, there's like 300 women in there, maybe some of them will want to do it. No big deal. I didn't know those 20 women were going to share with all their friends, who were going to share with all their friends. And so 2.5 weeks later, we had 6,700 women in a Facebook group. And I'm freaking out. I was never going to be in ministry. What's going on? And so I did not know. You're pointing at the other camera. Am I looking at the wrong camera? Camera guy's pointing at me. Are you landing a jet? Okay, I'm good. I'm looking at the right camera. You guys see me on Zoom? Okay, awesome. It's my first time doing an event in a TV studio, so we're learning together. Thank you for your patience. All right, and if you see me look down, it's because all your beautiful faces are right there. So when I look down, it's because I'm looking at you guys. Yep, that's right. I'm looking at you, Elise. Woo, and Maya. Elise and Maya, you're right there, and your big, beautiful smiles are totally cheering me on, and I love it. I also want you guys to know that it doesn't say any of your names. So if I'm not calling your name, it's because I don't have it memorized. Or sometimes I look at you, and I'm like, I don't know who that is. There's Rhonda. There's Joy. Oh, there's Men. Men, you made it. I'm so glad. And Brandy. Jesus, take the wheel. Brandy's on Zoom. Woo! So good. There's a huge story there. So proud of you for being here. Where was I? Squirrel. RV. So 2 weeks before, July 13th is 2 weeks before August 1st. And I went in blind obedience for 14 months. And then God was like, boom, here's what you're going to do with your life. I'm like, oh, okay, hang on for the ride. I was actually terrified. I was very, very terrified. I cried many times and asked God to take it all away because I did not want to have 6,700 women in a Facebook group. I'd never been in ministry. I'd never been in a Bible study. I know, I'll be like, hey guys, I've never been in a Bible study, but I'm ready to lead. Yes. I didn't think that would work, but somehow it did. So into the RV we went. You can, wait, I don't have my pen. He doesn't know to click it. This is me and my husband and our girls and our RV. Woo, look at my girls. Aren't they cute? Their favorite color is not pink, but they did me a favor to take a cute pink photo. My girls are wild and crazy and fun and amazing. I'm so blessed. I'm starting to think that I might actually have skills as a mom because I have a really respectful 15-year-old girl. These are all the states we've been to. Drop in the chat or wave at me here if you live in any of those. Woo! I know what you're thinking. Why didn't you come and visit me? You were in Washington? What? This is a picture of my mom and Chuck Norris that I will never take out of my slideshow because I think it buys me street cred. My mom dated Chuck Norris when I was 15 years old. My parents got separated. Worst thing that ever happened to me. And then she traded my dad in for Chuck Norris. So it was like, oh, how do I stay mad at you? What? I'm like traveling the world with Chuck Norris. I got a million stories. Yes, I named the ranch that Walker, Texas Ranger was filmed on. Literally, I named it Lone Wolf Ranch. Newsflash, look it up. That's what it's called. Van Damme's in this picture, and apparently, according to social media, he's now more famous than Chuck Norris, and this was his movie preview for Double Impact. USA Today cover read Linda Curtis and her date, Chuck Norris. My mom was an aspiring actress and model back then, and like so beautiful. Okay. I'm one of 7 children. I have 6 brothers and me, and that's all you need to know about me. That's why I'm feisty and crazy and focused and driven, because Les Brown says you got to be what? Hungry. And I was hungry if I didn't move fast enough at the dinner table. Like they would scarf it all up and I would have no meal. So these guys kept me on my toes. They're some of my favorite humans in the whole world, and I feel like they really shape me. My big brother, Tom, the one on the left of me, is actually going to be here. He's a part of our team for this event. How cool is that? He just had his 50th birthday, and I flew to Idaho and surprised him. It was so much fun because I told him there was no way I was going to be able to make it, and I brought my daughter. So he's great. He's probably already on here by now. That's my husband. Yeah, if you're going to do it, just do it crazy, right? Like, why do it normal? I just be like, next slide. Write this down. Have more fun as a speaker. You guys, people like fun. Raise your hand if you don't like fun. Okay, so you put I don't like fun in the chat if you don't like fun. Okay, I'm pretty sure most humans like fun, so just have fun, you guys. All right, my husband and I have fun. He tried to fight it for like the first 3 years of our marriage, but I won the last 15. We can be serious sometimes. That middle one is him when he was the lighting person for Dancing with the Stars. My husband's a really big deal, in case you guys didn't know that. I became an accidental best-selling author. I'm a 4-time accidental best-selling author, you guys. You want to know how to change the world? Just say yes to God and let him tell you what he wants you to do. I was not going to be an author. And if I was, I would not be an author of Bible study journals. I'm an author of 4 Bible study journals. Like, what? And it happened because there was no Bible study journal that led you through the Bible cover to cover. And so when all these women were doing this thing with me, I told them to follow this one book that jumped to Matthew on week 5. And we were like, uh-oh, what do? We couldn't find a book to use, so we created one, and then it became a bestseller, and now God's like, create a new one every year. Our most recent one, Year of Miracles, 2nd edition, is actually a TV show. If you guys haven't seen it yet, go to your app store, download the Fear into Faith app, because God turned my movement into a TV show this year. What? I think we have a slide for that. It's broken. Let me try again. I'm also a coach, so I'm a speaker, author, and coach, living this crazy life. You're going to hear more of my story, you guys. God literally just went with my life like 3.5 years ago. Never what I was going to do with my life. So he's going to do that for some of you this weekend. He's just going to take you on you're not going to recognize your life after this. Fear into Faith Academy, Master Your Voice, Kingdom Disciples. Those are some of our programs. Oh, it's not working again. Oh, there it goes. But before this, in my previous life, I actually was massively into musical theater. I did my first stage show at age 3, and I personally have been in over 150 productions. I did my first international tour at 14 to London, and my second one at age 17 to Russia. I actually performed in Russia with 22 American teenagers in the musical Grease. Grease is the word that you heard. Have you guys noticed my opening speech is more fun when I'm standing in a TV studio? Because I can't really dance at my laptop. I played Patty Simcox before you asked the question, who were you? But in our version, she sang, it's raining on prom night, my hair is a mess. So I also got to do that. I was in over 150, I've never sung in my opening before and you didn't applaud. If you don't applaud, I'll be like, oh, don't ever sing again in your opening. So I was in over 150 shows, and then I started directing. Actually, I was assistant directing at age 15 and directing on my own. I'm not going to tell you because I'm aging myself. But I directed for over 25 years, and I directed over 100 productions, and you can name some of them in the chat. We play Name the Show. Anyone know what my favorite show is? I always tell you. No one in the studio knows. No prizes for them today, Marcelo. My favorite show is Les Miserables, which is the one with the guy with the flag on the top. And if you look really closely, there's a circle on the stage because I'm crazy and ambitious and I don't do things small. Les Mis actually has an entire fake stage on top of a real stage with a turntable, and my husband built it for me. All right, next thing. This is my pictures of my kids because we went to China with my husband. He worked on the TV show The Voice in China. And I'm pretty sure I'm the only mom on the planet that has pictures of their kids in the judge's chair of The Voice and in the judge's chair of Dancing with the Stars. I told you, my husband was a big deal. Pretty cool, huh? I forgot to click, I know. I put this in here because if you're not sure if I'm qualified to teach you to be a speaker, well, I believe that directing theater for 25 years, I put over 20,000 people on stages from age 3 to 84. And it gave me a high level of skill to be able to watch somebody, watch how they're in their body, watch their confidence, and tweak them. When I became a speaker coach, I was like, can I just teach someone to be themselves, right? Instead of having a script where you play Belle in Beauty and the Beast, how about a script where you play yourself and you tell a real story from your life? And it's been awesome to use those skills and see that they do transfer into this world. I still wasn't sure if I should be a speaker coach last year, so I did this crazy thing called the Great American Speak Off, which is where I met Jay Lauren, which is where I met Chris Doherty, which is where I met Jesse Cruz, which is where I met Pat Quinn, all these people that are going to be there. And the craziest thing happened. I always say 27,000, and then Chris Doherty's like, no, it was 70,000. There were 70,000 people that applied to be on this pilot TV show called The Great American Speak Off for season 1, and they did 150 golden ticket winners, and I got one. So did Chris, so did Jay Lauren. That's why I know they're good. And then we competed in 5 semifinal rounds, and they went from 150 to 30, and I got in the 30. And then they went from 30 to 12, and I got in the 12. And then they picked 4, and if we get the clicker to work, yeah, and that's me standing in the final top 12. I'm right there in the middle. And from 12, they went down to 3 men and then decided they would take a woman, and I was one of 3 women left on the stage, and they ended up picking the other woman, Shmitria, who spoke at my Fear into Faith event. But the producer told me that it was between her and I. I'm like, so essentially I was 5th place. He's like, yeah. So I started going out of 70,000 people, I got 5th place. I might be good at this thing called speaking. So I've really gone full in on the last year being a speaker, and then this happened. I'm just telling you guys, if you feel like there's favor on my life, I want you to know this. You can catch favor. Favor is, you can catch it. I actually feel like I've gotten a lot of favor because for the last couple years of my life, I've been in the rooms with the favor. If you don't know Pedro Adeo, like I spend time with him. That guy has more favor on his life than anyone I've met. I walk in favor because I sow favor. You want to walk in favor? Sow favor. Write that down. This favor is insane, but it happened because of things I'm going to teach you in the next 3 days. This is Les Brown. He was the most famous speaker on this planet for decades. Absolutely incredible. And for 19 years, I followed him. I personally think I've watched more hours of Les Brown than anyone alive. I have watched him and watched him and watched him and watched him. And then, by the grace of God, I got connected with a guy who was doing a virtual event. And I always said, one day I'm going to open for Les Brown. One day I'm going to share a stage with Les Brown. And he actually retired, so I thought it wasn't going to happen. And guess what? But God. I got to speak at a virtual event, and I requested to speak right before Les Brown because I wanted to ask him a question. And I heard he takes questions, and I was like, well, maybe if he comes right at the end and he sees me, and then when I raise my hand, I'll get picked. No idea that he was going to unmute himself. At the end of my speech, the guy said, wow, Summer, your time's up. You did so good, and we loved it, but we got to bring Les Brown on. And he interrupts, and he says, Manny, give her some of my time. This girl's on fire. Give her some of my time. And then I freak out. And I immediately edified him and started speaking his quotes right back to him. And we will probably show that video at some point over the next 3 days. And he says it's better to be prepared for an opportunity that doesn't come than have an opportunity and not be prepared. I was preparing for that opportunity for years. You guys are here to prepare for an opportunity that I guarantee you is coming. And if you want to have a microphone be put in your hand, this is your preparation period. Be ready. So if somebody like me goes, here's a microphone, you're like, I got this. I started preparing, like if somebody were to give me a microphone for 15 minutes, what would I say? If you're on this Zoom or you're in this room and you couldn't take this mic from me right now and know I got 15 minutes to change someone's life, that's your first step. That's your first step. Have something so solid in 15 minutes you're ready to crush the world and change lives with it. Sound good? Les Brown and I ended up getting on a phone call. Manny had told me he's never done that before. I've never seen it. And Les Brown said in his entire career, he's never given his stage time to anyone. What? Don't you want to learn from that person? Okay, I'm not telling you that will happen for you if I teach you. There's no guarantees on that, but... And then this is our TV show. We launched a TV show this year. God turned our Bible challenge into a TV show. It's the first of its kind ever. TV show of the Bible. It's called the Global Bible Revival. Get our app, Fear into Faith app. And it takes you through the Bible cover to cover in a year. It's going to have 105 different readers that read in front of green screen, and they have outdone any vision I ever had for this production. If you haven't checked it out, you got to check it out. It is so beautiful and so moving. And we get so many testimonials from people that they're like, this is changing my husband's life. He's dyslexic. He's never been able to read the Bible, but now he reads with your TV show. And so this is how we're going to reach millions and fill stadiums of people finishing reading our Bible. That's our ministry. It's super easy. Our ministry part of what we do is to get 1 million people to read the Bible cover to cover and finish in a year and fill a stadium of people that come together to read Revelation out loud. And we're going to shake and quake the world. You guys want to be a part of that? Yeah. Woohoo! I think I'm done. Oh, the last one. I love this slide. I always put it in here because I think it fits for where you guys are at. And it says, I can read it right here. Look. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It's our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? And actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God, and your playing small doesn't serve the world. Can you put that in the chat? My playing small doesn't serve the world. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. I cannot imagine what would have happened in my life if 4 years ago I didn't say yes to reading the Bible cover to cover. If I didn't say yes to this new calling, you guys, before that, I was in months of depression. My theater company was stolen. My whole life, my whole identity, everything I ever thought I was or was going to do with my life was taken away. But God can rebuild you better and stronger. You just have to say yes. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. If I had played small, none of you would be here. And there are people waiting for you to step up big, right? I'm going to step up big. This is a weekend of stepping up big. Drop in the chat, I'm going to step up big. In the room, say, I'm going to step up big. Woo!